Hi, community of awesome. I'm Ava J, and this is Bookish Pixie. Happy New Year! Woo! We are in 2018. I have nothing else to say about that. It has nothing to do with the rest of the vlog, but you know, new year. Thought I'd say it. Okay, let's move on. So let's talk about description. Though I'm getting better at this as I go along, most of my description has come not in the first drafts, but in revisions. Without revision, a lot of my early drafts would look like scenes and characters taking place in a black hole because that's just how my brain functions when I first draft, but descriptions are really important. So when I'm struggling to describe a particular setting, I'll pause, close my eyes, and try to picture myself there. And then I'll ask myself, okay, what do I see? What's around me? What do I smell? What do I hear? And sometimes I have to build the setting while I've got my eyes closed and I'm picturing myself there, and I'll start to build on top of one thing after another. So I'll start with, you know, this certain flora and fauna, and it's this temperature out, and there's a building over there. Things like that. One really great resource for visual inspiration, if you find that when you close your eyes you just can't picture it at all and you're really struggling, is Pinterest. I don't use Pinterest a ton, but I do use it sometimes, and it can definitely be helpful when I'm starting to build a world and I need some kind of inspiration to kind of trigger what I want certain things to look like in my head. I don't personally use Pinterest a ton, but it can be useful, especially in those early stages when you're building settings. Once you've pictured a particular setting, then comes time to translate it onto the page. So there are two really important things you'll want to remember when writing description. First is make your description relevant. What I mean by this is you don't want to stop your story to then go on and on and on and on about the setting, because A, that's going to destroy your pacing, and B, it eventually becomes irrelevant. Instead, you kind of want to weave in your description as you go along. So while your protagonist is walking down the street, put in a little description about what's going on around them. When your protagonist is chilling in their bedroom, put a little description about what's in their bedroom. When your protagonist is eating dinner, give your readers a little taste of what the cuisine is like. So you want to weave it in like that. Sprinkle a little here where relevant, sprinkle a little there where relevant, and don't dump too much at once. Second, always consider your point of view. Who the person is that is describing that setting is going to drastically change what that description looks like. Two different characters placed in the same room are going to notice drastically different things about that room depending on their background, their familiarity with the environment, and what other environments they're used to. So for a real life example, someone who grew up in Florida is going to have a very different experience of winter in the Northeast than someone who grew up in the Northeast. And the point of view to me is what makes a description fun, because it puts a different spin on everything. So that's basically it in terms of description. Just keep those things in mind. And also know if your first drafts aren't description heavy or are overly description heavy, don't freak out, everything will be okay. That's what revisions are for. So that's what I got for today. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys next week.